First, tonight at 6, the Partyville community mourning the loss of two of their own, including a high school drama teacher following a devastating crash. Plus, new information about yesterday's plane crash in Monroe, what we've learned in a live report. That's straight ahead. And later, back open for business. What's next for the old-fashioned downtown following last week's fire?
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. A Sun Prairie family and a whole community in Partyville are remembering a couple killed in a car crash. One of them has directed almost 20 years of drama students. Well, Frank and Lori Fundingsland were hit head-on by a reckless driver last Friday. They have deep roots in the community. Our Amanda Quintana is in studio with us with how the two will be remembered. Amanda?
Yes, well, for their daughters, grandkids, and teachers and students at Partyville High School, losing Frank and Lori so suddenly still doesn't feel real. They are choosing to remember them for their smiles and for what they have dedicated to the community.
My parents have been married since 1974. They only knew each other 6 weeks before they got married.
Amber Lohmeyer of Sun Prairie wants to remember her parents like this.
My dad's just a guy that, you wanted to be around. He was always smiling. He was always cracking a joke.
Frank Fundingsland had been diagnosed with stage 4 colon and liver cancer. He and his wife Lori were on their way to an oncologist appointment when their car was hit head-on by a reckless driver on Highway 19. The crash killed all 3 people involved.
We're all in shock because it was so sudden. June 1st was our last day of school.
Since 1994, Lori has been the drama director and a special education aide at Partyville High School. She was known for finding the perfect role for the student no one ever thought would perform.
The student would come out of it afterwards and just be beaming and just so excited because they felt so good about themselves and had a positive experience.
Her passion for exposing the small-town students to the world of theater is leaving a lasting legacy in a new auditorium being built where she planned to direct the first play.
That was all she could talk about, was she was, after 19 years of having to do it in an elementary school gym, that she'd get this great venue to be able to do a play.
Although she and her husband won't be there building the sets like they've done for years, the community will find a way to honor them, while their family is taking the shock of this tragedy day by day.
Keep talking about them, keep remembering them for who they were, everything about them.
We are learning more about the driver who hit Frank and Lori after looking into his criminal history. 21-year-old Thomas Westrich had multiple speeding violations and a hit and run and open cases in Dane County involving drug abuse. An
absolutely devastating story. Amanda Quintana sharing that with us tonight. Amanda, thank you. Thanks. A retired City of Beloit police officer is behind bars tonight, arrested during a sexual assault of a child investigation. 62-year-old Larry Woods was most recently working as a security guard for the Beloit School District and Beloit Library. According to a release, officers arrested him over the weekend after information was brought forward by the child's mother. Police Chief David Zabolski says the allegations against a former officer are abhorrent and tarnish the badge that so many men and women are proud to wear. This is an active, ongoing investigation. Woods is expected to be in court tomorrow. A 21-year-old is facing serious charges tonight. Officers say he hurt 2 deputies while being booked into the Dane County Jail early this morning. They say Daniel Lennington of Madison was inside the jail when he started attacking deputies, slamming one into a counter. Officers eventually restrained him by using a taser. 2 female deputies, ages 30 and 42, were treated and released from the hospital. We turn it over now to weather for your first alert forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us in the Weather Center. Gary.
Eric, it's kind of humid out there, but the temperatures aren't too bad, but that will change as we head toward the weekend. In fact, we have alert days in the forecast for both Saturday and Sunday for high temperatures in the upper 80s Saturday and around 90 on Sunday. But the heat index values will be in the low to mid 90s Saturday and perhaps mid to upper 90s on Sunday, with just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm to break the heat. Much of Wisconsin saw sunshine today. Here in the southern part of the state, we had a little more cloud cover. There are some powerful thunderstorms out to the west of us, some thunderstorms moving through the Twin Cities area, and now a line of severe thunderstorms moving into western Iowa from eastern Nebraska has prompted the issuance of a tornado watch for western portions of Iowa. But nothing is imminent here. We could see a stray shower or thunderstorm late tonight and a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm tomorrow. Low temperatures this morning started out around 60 in Madison. It was a little cooler to the east, a little milder to the west. High temperatures today generally in the mid to upper 70s, although temperatures stayed in the 60s closer to Lake Michigan. La Crosse did top out at 81 degrees, and current temperatures are generally in the 70s. 70s, low 70s here in Madison, mid 70s farther out to the west. And dew point temperatures right now are generally in the low to mid 60s, so it is still fairly humid out there. By tomorrow morning, look for temperatures to be down to the lower 60s with some areas of fog. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm overnight. Tomorrow, a chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Otherwise, look for a warm and humid day with a high of 80. That's your First Alert forecast.
Gary, thanks. The community in Monroe remembering the 4 people from Kenosha who died in a plane crash yesterday.
Federal officials, along with the National Transportation Safety Board, say the investigation into what caused the plane to crash could take up to 2 years. Rose Schmidt joins us live from Monroe to tell us what people in the area are saying. Rose?
That's right. Well, the mayor of Monroe tells us that the city is very proud of this new airport terminal that cost $1 million and has been here since 2014. So it's a shame that this tragedy has come at a time when they're actually trying to get more traffic to come to this airport. The plane crash happened around noon yesterday. We learned today that the pilot was 81-year-old Colleen Deininger, who was flying with her granddaughter and 2 teenage grandchildren. They're all from Kenosha and were headed to Monroe to celebrate a graduation. Witnesses tell us that they could feel the plane hit the ground.
The whole house was shook, and then my son come out next door, and they were looking toward the north, and he said there was an explosion. Well, then we looked, and we could see flames, so we must have just missed it. But there was flames and a lot of black smoke.
Neighbors remember a plane crash that happened in this same area in 1988. 2 people died in that crash. Now, this airport has about 8,000 operations each year with planes going and coming, but at this time, this crash remains under investigation.
Rose Schmidt reporting live tonight in Monroe. Rose, thank you.
The Old Fashioned in downtown Madison is now back open after a Friday afternoon fire. The restaurant had a fire in the kitchen exhaust system. No one was hurt. But moving forward, management of the restaurant emphasized safety is their top priority. Happy that no workers or customers were injured. And now, depending on the results of inspections, they'll see if they need to make any changes to that equipment.
As far as improvement-wise, all of our equipment was up to date. It was recently cleaned. You know, it's up to investigators to see what needs to be replaced and redone at this point.
Staff have been working hard, cleaning 24/7, and they opened the breakfast area downstairs to the upstairs area about 4 o'clock this afternoon. The other half of the restaurant should be open back up by the end of the week or early next week. Tomorrow, a special election day for parts of Wisconsin, including one in our area. Voters will head to the polls in the 42nd Assembly District. Republican John Plummer going against Democrat Ann Groves Lloyd. There's also an independent in this race, Gene Rubenstein. The district covers parts of Dane, Columbia, Dodge, Marquette, Green Lake, and Fond du Lac counties. And then in the northeastern part of the state, voters will pick between Republican Andre Jacques and Democrat Caleb Frostman in the state's 1st Senate district. Polls open at 7 tomorrow morning. They will close at 8.
Madison College is expanding to a new campus and bringing its mission to educate the community with it. Officials broke ground today on the Goodman South campus, which will serve South Madison neighborhoods, as well as the underrepresented individuals in the area. The $23 million campus is designed with accessibility in mind, with support services in-house and a convenient location next to the Madison Metro South transfer point. Officials hope that it becomes a staple for the area.
Being engaging to the community, inviting the community in, because it is truly the community's college, and we will foster and move forward with that.
Officials hope the new campus will be operational by fall of 2019.
A portion of the tickets for the upcoming Badger football season have already sold out today. Juniors and senior students could buy tickets. That sale started at 7:30 in the morning. Within the first hour, the UW says all of those tickets were sold out. Now, tomorrow morning, freshmen and sophomores will be able to buy tickets starting at 7:30. Graduate and professional students will be able to purchase tickets on July 9th. Still to come at 6, a chance to hit 80 degrees again this week. We'll have your updated forecast in just a few minutes.
But first, a need for new foster parents, specifically for a certain group of kids. We'll explain next.
Welcome back. Children who have experienced trauma before going into foster care are often referred to services called treatment foster care.
An area agency says the need for this type of care is going up, but they're having difficulty finding homes for all the children. New at 6, Madeline O'Neill joins us with why that is and what it means for kids. Madeline?
Charlotte and Eric, Community Care Resources provides treatment-level foster care throughout much of the state. Counties refer children who need the higher-level care to the agency, but much like what we've seen with county foster care, there's a shortage of homes.
We started looking at foster parenting and haven't looked back.
Fostering 4 kids is a balancing act.
There you go. You got it.
But frequent park visits break up a busy schedule.
Pretty much every day in the summer.
In the past 16 years.
Is that as high as you're going to go?
Rebecca Matea has helped dozens of children navigate life.
34, I think. We have number 35, I think, is just arriving.
And rise above struggles from their past.
Stand up on top of that.
She provides treatment-level foster care for Community Care Resources. It's a higher level of care with more support for traumatized children, including more frequent social worker visits and personalized treatment plans.
We are quicker to be able to get a child into therapy.
Treatment-level care is something referral coordinator Brian Sullivan estimates most kids who are taken out of their homes actually need.
The extent of the mental health issues, it's a much more common phenomenon.
But the number of kids and the number of homes needed is an uneven equation. Sullivan says of the 30 to 40 children referred to Community Care Resources each month, the agency can only place about 10% of them.
There's just not enough to accommodate the need, and the need is only, from what I've observed, only growing.
Sullivan says children may be placed elsewhere, like in a group home, or they may get services at their own home. He worries some of the children are falling through the cracks.
Most certainly.
More foster parents like Matea.
That's pretty cool.
Could tip the scales back in favor of the children.
Open your home and take a shot.
Community Care Resources is campaigning to recruit more foster parents. They've also noticed an increase in sibling groups needing placements, they say likely tied to the opioid epidemic.
Madeline O'Neill reporting tonight. Madeline, thank you. There is more to come tonight at 6 in sports. Tony Romo getting in a round of golf today in Madison.
And also some unusual testing right in our backyard. How UW researchers are working to cut back on the carbon footprint of the dairy industry.
Humidity levels will stay high through tomorrow. That could lead to at least a chance of a shower or thunderstorm. We'll see the break in the heat and humidity for Wednesday and Thursday, but it'll be back for the weekend. I'll have your first alert forecast in a few minutes.
Dairy researchers at UW-Madison are breathalyzing the cows there.
That's right. They're not checking to see if they've had one too many. The machine that you're looking at here is known as a green feed system. It actually measures the methane gas that cows are exhaling as they process their food. Scientists say heat-trapping methane has more than doubled in our atmosphere in the past 2 centuries, and now the dairy industry is trying to reduce its carbon footprint by 25% in the next 2 years. Those researchers are looking into how the cows are fed, how their manure is handled, to see if they can find ways to help farmers meet that goal.
The numbers are easy to remember, actually. It's for every pounds of milk that you would consume, there is 2 pounds of CO2 equivalent emitted in the atmosphere.
So the hope is to have a practical plan for Wisconsin farmers sometime next year. And tonight we'll get a look inside the UW Dairy Cattle Center to learn more about bovine emissions, what that means for the environment. That's tonight on News 3 at 10.
We look forward to that. And Chief Meteorologist Gary Knalty is here with a look at your work week forecast.
Humidity levels are still fairly high out there. We could see some patchy fog tonight, maybe a chance of a shower or thunderstorm tonight and tomorrow, but then we'll see a little bit of a break before summer really arrives for the weekend. In fact, we have alert days in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday. For high temperatures, upper 80s Saturday and around 90 on Sunday. Heat index values between about 90 and 95 on Saturday and perhaps close to 100 in spots on Sunday, with just an outside chance of a shower or thunderstorm to break the heat. On visible cloud track across southern Wisconsin, you can see clouds coming in from 2 directions, from the low-level clouds coming in from the east along with the winds near the ground, and the upper-level clouds coming in from the west. Those are blow-off tops of thunderstorms farther out to the west. But right now, those clouds aren't producing any precipitation, and that's good news, because over the last 96 hours, about 2 to 6 inches of rain has fallen from southeastern Minnesota through southwestern Wisconsin and into much of northwestern Illinois. Farther north and east you go, very little rain fell up toward the Fox Valley and as well as parts of Marquette and Green Lake counties in our viewing area. But Doppler track right now free of precipitation here. Out to the west, there are some thunderstorms moving through the Twin Cities into northwestern Wisconsin. And then you can see tornado watches in effect for parts of Iowa as severe thunderstorms are moving into the western part of that state. But temperatures will be above normal. Will be close to normal for the next few days with high temperatures in the lower 80s and the average high is in the upper 70s. But for the weekend, temperatures upper 80s to around 90 degrees. And even on Monday, with some thunderstorm chances, will still be in the middle 80s. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. Mostly cloudy skies there. We saw a little sunshine earlier. WISC Skycam actually now starting to pick up at least a few breaks in the clouds, allowing some sunshine to come on through. The downtown Madison Edgewater Skycam showing at least some sunshine making it through to the Capitol. As we check out the almanac, our high temperature only made it to 74. That's 3 degrees below normal, and that was mainly due to the cloud cover. But the low temperature of 60 is 5 degrees above average, and that was due mainly to the humidity. And right now we're sitting at 70 degrees, but the dew point temperature is at 60. Temperatures usually fall pretty close to the dew point late at night, and so we expect the overnight low temperature again to be around 60. Humidity is at 71%. When those temperature and dew point get very close together, the humidity rises and you have fog form, so we could see some patchy fog as well. Near Lake Michigan, temperatures are still in the 60s, Milwaukee and Chicago, but inland mainly in the 70s. Some 80s from Des Moines, Iowa, south and west, and the air is very humid there. That's where the severe thunderstorms are developing because we have 2 branches of the jet stream, the northern branch going this way, the southern branch going this way. Where they split, that helps the air rise very quickly, and that's why we're seeing the severe thunderstorms in the area around Omaha, Nebraska. But the southwesterly wind flow aloft goes back into the Pacific Ocean, so that will keep temperatures above normal at least for the next week. And this cold front is more of a wind shift line and maybe a drop in the humidity. Behind it, temperatures don't fall off terribly much, but the dew point temperatures go from the 70s back into the 40s and 50s, so the air does dry out a little bit. Our forecast for tonight, low of 62, skies becoming cloudy, chance for a shower or thunderstorm late and some patchy fog as well. Tomorrow's high at 80, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, warm and humid. Much of the day will be dry. On future track, the clouds thicken up tonight. Again, a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm and maybe some patchy fog with lows in the lower 60s. Tomorrow, just an outside chance of a shower or thunderstorm. High temperatures around 80. But tomorrow night, the winds start to shift around to the northwest. That clears out the clouds and eventually drops the humidity. And on Wednesday, we're looking for high temperatures in the upper 70s with sunny skies. And as we check out the 7 to 10 day forecast, you'll see those temperatures generally around 80 as we head to the end of the week, but mid to upper 80s to around 90 for the weekend. And temperatures stay warm through much of next week with a few thunderstorm chances.
Guess who's playing a golf tournament in Madison this week? Well, here's a clue. He used to be the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Stories coming up in sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle Carolla. Tonight on the news at 9, President Trump is meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un tonight in an historic Singapore summit. Very latest will be first on Fox at 9.
The third annual American Family Insurance Championship begins a week from today. The PGA Tour Champions Tournament runs Friday through Sunday, June 22nd to the 24th. The tournament host Steve Stricker, certainly one of the pre-tournament favorites. But don't forget about our other local favorite, Jerry Kelly. He finished 6th in the rain-shortened event in Des Moines this weekend. Kelly's the third-place guy in the Charles Schwab Cup season-long money list right now. He says playing on PGA Tour Champions has been great.
The competition is so difficult, and it's so much fun, and it's the same guys that we've been beating up on each other for so long. No, it hasn't gotten old. The second that adrenaline isn't pumping there for me, I won't be playing, but I can't imagine when that happens.
Look who's playing at Blackhawk Country Club today. That's Tony Romo trying to qualify at the WSGA Match Play Golf Tournament. Romo, the NFL on CBS analyst, of course, from Burlington, Wisconsin. He's played quite a few tournaments in Wisconsin, including the Ray Fisher in Janesville. Today, Romo is now final. He finished at 4 over 76. That's a tie for 38th place. You need to be in the top 64 to make it to Match Play, which begins tomorrow at Blackhawk. The WIA State Baseball Tournament begins tomorrow in Grand Chute. Division I quarterfinals and semifinals. I'll be there at 8 a.m. when Wanakee plays Eau Claire North. Janesville Craig faces Milwaukee King about 3:30 in another Division I quarterfinal tomorrow. We'd like to recognize some state champions. Verona beat Wanakee for the state high school lacrosse title in Waukesha Saturday. We had 2 state girls softball champions. Sun Prairie completed an undefeated season with a 7-1 win over Burlington in the Division I championship. That's Sun Prairie's first ever girls softball title. And Poynette won the school's 4th state softball title with a 2-0 win over Tomahawk in the Division III state championship game at Goodman Diamond. And for the second straight year, Edgewood's boys won the WIA Division II state team tennis tournament. Edgewood beat Kohler 4-3 in the semifinal and then beat University School 4-3 in the championship match at Nielsen Tennis Stadium. The Brewers and Cubs play each other 19 times in a season, and 3 of them are coming up this week. They'll start their series at Miller Park tonight. Jose Quintana against Junior Guerra at 7:10. Now, 2 Wisconsin Badgers won NCAA track championships over the weekend in Eugene, Oregon. Georgia Ellenwood won the women's heptathlon, and Oliver Hoare won the men's 1,500-meter run. But 2 other athletes did not quite fare as well. This is the 3,000-meter steeplechase. Houston's Brian Barraza had a huge lead in the race. All he has to do is clear that last hurdle. Well, he didn't. And Minnesota's Absa Ali took the advantage and won the national title. Barraza finished 9th in the race. And in the women's final event of the meet, Purdue was leading the 4x400 relay. If the Boilermakers win the race, Georgia would win the meet. USC had to win the race to win the meet, but look, they're way back there in 3rd place. There's no way. USC's anchor, Kendall Ellis, won the race. And USC won the women's NCAA track tie.
By 1 point, right? Wasn't that the deal?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
7/10 of a second.
Don't look over your shoulder.
Someone might be coming.
Jerry Kelly, Steve Stricker playing really well coming in.
Yeah, and they should be 2 of the favorites next week.
That's going to be fun.
Question.
That's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Gary's back. Final check.
Well, it looks like a warm and humid stretch of weather, hot and humid by the weekend. Some thunderstorm chances in there, but not enough to break the heat, at least for the weekend.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Have a great evening. We'll see you here at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.